The next presentation is by, I'm sure I'm going to get pronunciation dreadfully wrong here, Murtaqi Syamsudin. He's the Director of Planning with PLN in Indonesia. Murtaqi is the Director of Planning, Business and Risk Management. He's in IT, Customer Service and Revenue Assurance. That's his portfolio. He's been with PLN for 30 years, and previous to this post, he was General Manager in Distribution in West Java. And Murtaqi is going to be talking about PLN's payment and collection system involving banks, switching companies, and banks downliners, which I'll be speaking about myself. So I'd like you to ask you to join me in welcoming Murtaqi on the stage for his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So my job title now is Director of Planning. Sorry for not updating you because I was contacted last year. Okay, so I will talk about the collection and payment practice by PLN. So first, I would like to show you the coverage area of PLN. So PLN is the state-owned company serving basically all Indonesia region from the west part of Sumatra, from Sabah to Papua. So just give you illustration. From Jakarta to Jayapura, to this part, if you go with a direct flight, it takes 6 hours from Jakarta to Jayapura, and from Jakarta to Aceh, to Banda Aceh, it takes 3 hours if we go by a direct flight. So this is all served by PLN. Next. Just give you PLN's customer profile. PLN is responsible for generation, transmission, and distribution. The PLN's capacity is about 28,000 megawatt, and the IDP is about 6,000 megawatt, also connected to PLN. So the total installed capacity managed by PLN is more than 35,000 megawatt. The number of customers right now is 45 million customers. So this is prepaid and postpaid customers, and we make a segmentation: social, residential, business, industrial, and public customers. In terms of number of customers, of course, the residential customer is the biggest, about 93% is the residential customers. And this is the challenge in the payment and collection. So we manage the monthly revenue stream is more than $1 billion US dollar equivalent. $1 billion every month. So this is the number of customers, and the big amount of revenue stream is really a challenge for PLN. Okay, so before the policy or before the drive, before the system, basically we have a lot of number of customers. And previously, we have diverse application and practices among the business units. There are 31 business units, distribution units across Indonesia because of the wide area. And the business process also not standard. And so there are a lot of risk of loss of cash in transit. So the revenue in the revenue assurance, if you use the revenue assurance terms, before we were still facing the loss of cash. You can imagine, because of the fraud, because of the corruption in the branch unit, because of the theft, because of the robbery, when people bring the cash from the payment point to the nearest branch offices. And also we have a timeline. The cash paid by the customers going to the head office. There are really a timeline. We adopt a central cash control policy because of the subsidy policy and everything. Background, we adopt the central cash control. So the time is very important. So the time lag before, normally between 1 week to 1 month, from customer paying the bill and the cash or the fund get to the head office treasury. So this is the background, and this is the old way before we implement the system. Basically, the customer pay in cash in the payment points, and the payment points is the PLN's partner. So the cash is given to the branch office, and the data is reported to the branch office. So the reconciling between the data and the cash done in the branch level. So the branch reported to the region, and then region consolidated and report to the head office. And the cash is also in staging transferred from PLN's branch office account to the region account, and then consolidated transferred to the head office. Later, this can be transferred directly to the head office, but still there is a time lag. So in this level, there is no database. Even also in this level, in the head office, there is no customer database. So in this level, the treasury is just hopeless, receiving the report and receiving the fund. They cannot control. So this is basically the previous system before we haven't had a centralized database. So basically, there is a very high risk in cash in transit. So next. So starting in 2006, we basically first, to resolve the problem, we set a centralized payment collection and payment database and system. And we also centralized the customer information system and billing. And then we integrate these two, or we connect these two, the payment system and the billing system in one place, say in a head office. And then also parallel, we pursue a partnership with banks, post offices, switching companies, and banks downliners. Basically, this is what we have done since 2006, and it is completely finished, and we can roll out to all over to Indonesia in last year, in 2011. So it took almost 5 years to implement the system because of the technical problems and also non-technical problems, many psychological, many non-technical problems also. Next. So this is the new way, where PLN involving the bank system, the switching system, and the downliners. So basically with this system, PLN has a centralized data center for payment and the centralized customer billing, customer service and billing system. And this data is accessed by the bank's system through switching companies, through switching systems. So in the banking system, they have their own delivery channel, the ATM, the internet banking, the phone banking, the SMS banking. So basically for customers who has access to the bank system, because they are the bank's customers, they can pay their bill through the ATM or internet banking or phone banking, basically through their through bank's delivery channel. The model is that they have access to this. Their bank account was deducted and transferred to PLN's bank account, and this is through the banking system. And the reconciliation, PLN doing to reconcile between the data and the fund is done by the head office. So this is centralized with an application. We can monitor daily for every bank. So basically, for customer paying through the bank's delivery channel, they deduct the bank's account directly to PLN. So it takes only, we tolerate only 1 day. So PLN pay the bill in day 0. The next day, the fund is already in the branch, in the head office bank's account. So the bank enjoy the flow because of 1 day flow, and the bank's fee from the customers, and some small amount of fee still paid by PLN. So there is a certain business model in this that everybody happy. The banks, the switching system, the PLN, and the customers. So there is a certain business model. For the downliners, also every downliners has to have a bank account. So every transaction done by the customer to the downliners. So this is mostly for the cash transaction. Directly after the transaction, the bank account of the downliners transfer to PLN's bank account. So this is the basic model of the collection and payment. So with this way, basically the collection and payment is pushed by PLN to the banking system, and banking system involving the switching system and the downliners, basically like that. So with this, the risk of cash of transit in the previous system is fully eliminated. The cash of transit is fully eliminated. The time of transfer time is only 1 day, and the head office can monitor all the transaction for each bank, for each downliners, for each customers. We can track down every transaction. Next. So in this system, basically we create a kind of market. There are many players in this system. First, the switching upstream, what we call the upstream switching providers. There are already 10 switching providers connecting PLN as a biller with banks as a collecting agent. So this switching system, with this system in place, they have opportunity to attract other billers. Now there are many billers using the similar model. Second is banks. Right now in Indonesia there are 58 banks already participating in this system. So basically all the banks ATM, now people can pay their bill through all banks ATM, because if they don't have this feature, they consider that they don't serve the customer. So every banks want to join this system to complete their service features through their downliners. There are 58. And the downstream, there are also what we call the downstream switching. So basically the downstream switching is a provider who provide the technology, the PC, the EDC, the connection for the downliners, for the payment point operators. And there are also collection agents who provide the fund, to post in the bank account. So these two in combine, the cash payment operator and the collection agent. Right now we estimate about 40,000, already 40,000 players in Indonesia, and it is still growing. So this is all the business players involved in this method. So we can say also that because the important players is mostly done by these players. This is small players in the neighborhood, in the remote areas, in the rural areas. They bring the EDC to the neighborhood. So normally, mostly they are head of the community or the community leader. So we can call it also that this system basically is also a community-based collection and payment system, because the players is not the big corporation or big company. The players is someone in the neighborhood, because mostly the transaction is done in cash. Okay, next. So this is the summary that we get from the database. About more than 80% the transaction is through the cash channel. This is the downliners in the neighborhood, and this is the post office. Post office is still important, because people go to the post office to get their retirement, to get their salary, and pay their bill. So post office is still playing important role. So only about 20% paying their bill through the non-cash transaction to the bank's delivery channel, either teller, ATM, or phone banking, mobile banking, and other means of other bank's delivery channel. Next. So this is the summary. We have two systems, the postpaid and prepaid. And for prepaid, right now, we have already about 4.7 million customers. Yeah. In total, we have more than 45 million customers. This is the transaction summary. The postpaid is about 40 million. The prepaid is 6.4 million transactions. The number of prepaid customers is only 4.7 million customers, but the transaction is 6.4. This means that on average, people purchase the token more than one in 1 month. So in average, it's about 1.4 the transaction, 1.4 times every month. So we can cover all the transactions basically with the system, and still this is showing that through the cash payment point and to the post office is more than 87% of the transaction. And the biggest amount is also still in this of 50% from the cash transaction, and from the non-cash is about 40%. This is through the bank teller. Next. So, in summary, with this method of collection and payment for PLN, the added value is we can do part of our revenue assurance, most in the cash loss risk, yeah. And we can get the timely receipt of cash only 1 day. From every transaction, the next day the fund is assured to come to the head office treasurer. We have the standardized method for collection and payment. We have cost efficiency because we don't have to build the infrastructure. We don't have to provide the technology for the payment point. Market who provide this, and customer who pay this. We don't put any capex at all. What we do is only providing the good billing, the CIS and billing system, and the payment data